us. I think that's so awesome. Okay, so then I'm going to do my normal spiel. So, welcome, first of all, to day 3. For those of you who are not familiar with me yet, my name is Sydney Berletich, and I am Anne's right-hand gal inside of Peak Sales Performance. I'm also the head coach inside of our programs. So when you guys join us inside one of our programs, you will see lots of me, which is why I'm here. I host a coaching call every week, and I'm also helping one-on-one on the accountability level with all of our clients. So when you join us, you see lots of Anne, but you also see lots and lots and lots of me. So I would love for you guys to introduce yourself in the chat, even if you have already. Tell us who you are, what you do, how you help people. I've said this every day, but you never ever know who needs you or who knows somebody that needs you. So always jump on opportunities to introduce yourself, a little networking. Maybe somebody will find you after on social. So share who you are and what you do in the chat. Please, please, please. We love to see it. And like I said, networking opportunity. You never know. Clients come in odd ways sometimes. So this would be a cool way for that to happen. Okay, introduce yourself in the chat. But we are going to have all of these replays up for you guys, and the notes. The session notes are going to be sent out as well. So stay tuned for that. Those are going to be available through next Friday. So if you need to get caught up or if you want to rewatch, just make sure you do that by next Friday, because they will be taken down. So before we dive in, I would just love to hear A, what you do and how you help people, and B, if you've been watching live or on replay, what has been your biggest aha from us working together with you guys this week? I would love to hear anything in particular that stuck out to you, anything in particular that really clicked that hadn't before. Today, we are going to be talking about how to 10x client results, client engagement, client retention in your group program. This is huge, 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 because like I've said every week, every day, this week, it is so much easier to keep a client happy and keep a client with you for life than constantly replacing and replenishing because clients are falling off. So much less work on the front end sales if you can keep clients. All right. I haven't seen anybody in the chat. Are we just very quiet today? I know it's Friday, you guys, but like, let's finish strong. Okay, cool. The curriculum, oh, here we go. Gemma says, the curriculum only has to be 3 to 5 steps, not everything you know. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, exactly. Wendy says, hi everyone, I'm a healer and a coach. I help struggling coaches overcome fear, build a thriving business, and make a positive impact on the world, all while staying true to themselves. Thank you so much for sharing, Wendy. Wendy has been here, I'm pretty sure every day this week, and she shared every single day. So thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. Angela, hi, I'm Angela. I'm a transformational earth magic manifestation mentor and coach. Oh my goodness, how cool. For women who believe in magic, I teach self-actualization through the lens of natural law, women's spirituality, identity work, and mindset, aka brain science. Very, very cool, Angela. Gemma says, I'm a hypnotherapist, hormone healer, workshop facilitator, and online business manager. Dang, you're busy, Gemma. Awesome. Awesome, you guys. Keep sharing who you are, what you do, any ahas that have stuck out with you this week. I'm going to bring Anne on so we can jump in. Yeah, let's go.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody, if it is Friday for you. It is Friday here for us in the States. Really exciting. We love to finish strong. We love to start strong. We love to finish strong. So thank you guys that for those of you that have been joining us all 3 days. I know that that is a great commitment from you guys to take time out of your busy days and your business, your goals, your families, and be here with us for a few days. I hope you guys have been getting a ton of value so far. I really feel like we saved the best for last. That wasn't quite intentionally, but I think that we save the best for last, and I want to really give you guys some really, really great things to leave with today that I think can really change the game for you. And this will probably be one of the most important sessions besides day one. I think session one was probably by far the most important because we hit and covered all of those mindset things, right? But today I want to talk a little bit too. We'll hit on the sales as well today and a little bit of mindset, but I want to share with you guys the best practices to 10x your client performance. So how do we 10x client results, and how do we 10x client retention inside of your programs? Now, regardless if you're running a group program, one-on-one, you want to transition, you already have both offers, the offer that you're selling right now is irrelevant to what I'm going to talk about for the most part. So this can apply to you even if you're not quite doing a group program yet. This is kind of straight across the board. So I want to share some really, really, really best practices with you guys. I want you to take some notes. But again, just like Monday or Wednesday and just like yesterday, drop your questions, write them down. We're going to open up for some Q&A. It is our last day of this session. So I do want to make sure we connect. I want to make sure I answer all of your questions. I want to make sure you guys feel pretty good. Whether you're going to come in and work with us inside of one of our programs or not, or if you're just going to keep going on with what you're doing and take what you've learned here and apply it. Either way, I want you to feel really good about that. I want you to feel confident in doing that. For those of you that have been tuning in, I do want to let you know that we have opened the doors to our Sell at Scale program. Inside of this program, we are taking everything we've been teaching you here, but we're helping you inside this program actually create it and design it. So we're not just teaching it to you, we're not just talking about it. We're really looking at what does your onboarding process look like? How are you signing clients for your programs? What does your marketing look like? What does your sales process look like? What's your messaging look like? What is your qualification process? What is your onboarding process when you bring clients into your programs? What does your curriculum look like? And what is the access and the structure of your program so that you don't have heavy coaching and you feel like, for example, give me a 1 in the chat or below if you guys are on Facebook. If you were to be given, or if you were to get 50 clients today who are going to sign up and join your program today before the end of the day. Number 1, give me a 1 if you feel like you'd lose your damn mind. Give me a 2 if you're like, bring it on. I could take 100, 200, 300, 500, be A-okay. Give me a 1 if you're like, I would lose my damn mind if I got 50 clients right now today that like joined and I had to onboard and get them going. Give me a 2 if you're like, oh, rock star, got it dialed in, no issues. You could give me 500, I'd be good. I'd be solid. 1 or 2 in the chat. If you guys are tuning in on Facebook, go ahead and pop that in the comments below. And then, yeah, Sydney, we're live over there if you want to go over an app tag. So basically, the point behind that question, right, is your program that you are selling, is it set up for scale? Is it set up so that you can consistently and constantly bring clients into your program and without it taking up more of your time? So for those of you that put a 1, right? So Angela said a 1, but only because my onboarding process is crap. Yeah, so, and Wendy said 2, but I like option 3, kind of a blend of both. Yeah, that's a great breakthrough too, Angela. So here's what I want to kind of bring to you guys. Your program should be designed, structured, and delivered in a way that if you were given 500 clients right now, it would not impact your effort. You wouldn't need to be like, oh my God, I got to do all these calls, all this coaching, all this stuff, all these things. Oh my God, my coaching is going to multiply. How will I ever handle it? If you have any of those feelings coming up, what that means is your program is not set up to scale. And so that just means that we need to look at your systems, your structure. This is all the stuff we do at Sell at Scale. Sell at Scale is going to help you set it up so that you could have 500 people in your program. You could have 50 people sign up this week, 20 today, and it wouldn't stress you out. And it also wouldn't mean that your calendar is so full that you're going to die for the next month trying to onboard all these new clients. It just means system structure, delivery, the design of your offer is not as good as it could be, is all that means, right? So I'm sitting here with you guys today. If 500 people join any of my programs today, that would not increase my effort at all. My effort personally would not go up. I have systems, team, structure, things in place. at scale so that we could support those level of clients coming in without dying at my desk, right? Because we have support, right? We have applications, we have forms they fill out, we have a structure to how we could onboard all those people right away. We have a structure for how we could do that without us dying at our desk, and I have team support. So there's things in place, and we already have our program running, and it's already set up and it's ready to go. Okay. So I just kind of want to I think that's a good way to kind of start the call, because I know a lot of people are like, yeah, my program is fine. It's great. It's running perfect. And I'm like, awesome. If I give you 100 clients right now and you had to onboard and get them started, what would you do? And most people are like, yeah, no, that would not probably go very well. I would be freaking out. So if you're freaking out about signing more clients, do you think you'll sign more clients? Probably not, right? Because there's a mindset thing around it of like, oh my gosh, the support to serve those clients and onboard them would make me crazy. Okay. So inside Sell at Scale, we will help you set all these things up. The goal in that program is to get you to a $500,000 to $1 million of annual recurring revenue with that program. Okay, so that we want to build it up to scale and also have it run without you. Meaning that you could take time off, you could go on vacation. You're not the person doing all the things, everything inside of the program. Everything and everyone is not coming to you, right? In order for things to operate. Those are all the things that we help you do. You do need to be generating between $5,000 and $8,000 a month in your business to qualify for that space. If you're not doing that, you're not ready for scale, right? So if you're not generating $5,000 to $8,000 a month, what that means is that you don't have enough sales consistently coming in, or enough retention to have a good, stable monthly recurring revenue. And so you can't scale something that doesn't exist. So what we want to do with you is build up your sales and stabilize your monthly recurring revenue to a 5 to 8, maybe 10K a month. That shows stability. It means like what we're doing is working. It means that we can scale. There needs to be something to scale. So if you're not doing, if you're under like that 3,000 to 5,000 a month, or you're around that 3,000 a month mark, or maybe less, Sales Academy might be perfect for you. We'll focus on building your high ticket offer, your buyers list, and get your sales up. Very simple. If you're not even generating 3,000 a month, I would say that we need to immediately figure out the mindset and the things that you're doing that are not producing consistent sales. And then you'll need to come into probably the membership and start there. It's just very low ticket. It's enough there to get your sales up and you build your confidence and skills a little bit. Gemma said, what is a buyer's list? Yep, so a buyer's list is a specific list of people. It doesn't need to be it's not your email list. It's not your Facebook friend list. It's not your LinkedIn connection list. It is a specific list that you've curated, you've pulled from those places, specific people who are the people you want to sell this year. You want to close them this year. These are the people that you're going to spend your time building relationship, building trust, nurturing, qualifying, getting them over the finish line, getting a credit card so they come into your program. So what we do across all of our programs is we help you build a buyer's list. We help you find those people across your platforms, in your email list, your groups, on your connections, and we help you pull out the people that are your potential buyers, and we take certain actions with those people to get them over the finish line and qualify them, okay? So it is a specific list, but it's going to come from your connections. We need to pull those people out and build that list. And then let's see, okay. For Gemma said, for what offer? Yeah, so for Sell at Scale and for our Sales Academy, there's a few bonuses for you guys if you come in. We are doing we're doing a build your buyers list workshop. It's about a 2 or 3 hour workshop. We're doing that in June, where we're going to literally all get together on Zoom and we are going to build your buyers list. The goal is you get around about 50 to 100 people on that list. Then we're going to show you how to work them. How do we work these people? Get them over the finish line. That's happening in June. And then in August. I'm sorry, no.
July. I know, it's literally almost June, like this week. Yeah, July is Build Your Buyers List workshop. And then August, we have an awesome workshop too.
Yes, so July we'll build your buyers list. If you join our programs, you'll get bonus into that. And then in August, we're doing a full day workshop. It's a quarterly goal planning workshop. So we'll map out your 90-day goals, every nook and cranny. That's an August workshop. It's a full day on Zoom. And that is for both Sell at Scale and Sales Academy. If you are coming into our membership, we don't have any bonuses for that. It's a super low ticket offer. It's a no-brainer. It's $44 a month right now. It is not high level coaching, but you get a monthly Q&A call. We have a weekly audio thread, so you'll post a question every week in our thread, and I'll audio answer those on Telegram. So there is some support there. Depending on your stage of business and where you're at, what you're trying to accomplish this year, these are the different offers, but our two bigger programs have these bonuses for you guys. So if you have questions about what do I qualify for or where would be the best place to start, just send me a private message. Okay, I'm happy to have a chat with you, just to help you kind of figure out what would be the best support for where you're at. We do qualify for all of our programs. There is proper placement. So we want to make sure you guys are in the right place. Okay. All right. So what I want to talk about today, let's dive in and talk about the best practices to really 10x your client performance. So we're looking at client results and we're looking at retention. So we've talked about this a little bit this week, right? We have talked about it is one thing to get sales. It's another thing to keep them. Okay. When you're getting sales, we are closing new clients. When you're keeping them, you're renewing or graduating or ascending current clients. It is always going to be harder to get a new sale. It's always going to be harder. It's going to take more effort than it is to keep the clients who are already paying you. A lot of times what we see is with a lot of entrepreneurs today is you're constantly replacing, right? So you have people come in and they stay for a little while, but then they leave. And so what you're doing is every month you're replacing clients. What we teach you is to stack clients. So every month we want you to add new clients on top of the ones you already have and keep 80% or more of those people. So if you're looking at your retention, like clients buying and buying and buying and buying and buying again and again and again from you, you should have around 80% of that. So 80% of your clients should be continuing to pay you and buy from you again and again. If that is not happening, you have a massive, massive sales gap in the back end of your business. There's something just not connecting over there that is keeping your clients wanting to stay and keep paying you. It is always going to be harder, and especially in this economy, to constantly have to get new sales to keep your sales stabilized. Anyone can go get sales. Like my 18-year-old daughter could hop on here and probably get some sales and start a new business this week. That part is pretty simple. We have to keep them. We have to keep them though. And so a lot of this is that retention, ascension, graduation. It isn't about, like when I say retention, they're just continuing to buy from you. It could be the same program. It could be a new program. It could be something else, higher ticket, low ticket. That's not really the point. Do 80% of your clients continue to pay you and continue buying from you year after year after year after year, month after month after month? Or do they come in, get a little thing, and they're gone? And if you're constantly replacing, you will struggle this year because your sales every month are not stabilized. Okay, so what we want to do is stabilize those monthly sales and stack them. So every month you make more and more and more and more. Clients are happier and happier and happier and happier. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about this. Before I say this, I want you guys to share. I want you guys to share and keep your question. Make sure you get your question. We will answer your questions. What I want you guys to do is share. What is one thing that you think is most important to your clients getting the result of your program and staying with you longer? If you had to think about it, what do you think is the most important part of your process that would create that outcome? Just guess if you have to, but what do you think the one most important thing would be? If you had to pick one thing, it's actually a couple things, but there's one most important part of your process of bringing a new client into your programs that is the most important element to their success and your retention. What do you guys think that is? Share it in the comments, share it in the chat. If you're watching on Facebook, you can pop it in the comments as well. Okay, Wendy said connection. Anybody else? Throw some guesses in there. It's okay if you guys don't know, that's probably why you're here. I'm going to tell you anyway, but I just want to see kind of where you guys are at, get a little temp check. Anybody know what that might be? Any other guesses? Okay. So I'm going to tell you what it is. The most important The most important part of your client success in your programs and your retention rate in your program, Gemma said see in progress, the most important part is actually your sales conversation. Everybody write that down. It actually isn't the things in your program. That is important, but it's not the most. Your retention and your client success starts in the sales conversation before they ever become a client, before they ever pay you. This is why in my post today, I said it's not what you think. Because I'll tell you what most people think. Tell me if any of these resonate with you guys. Most people think if I want my client to be successful and I want them to keep renewing and paying me, I'm going to need to provide more one-on-one access. I'm going to need to include bonuses. I'm going to have to create a really big curriculum and give them all the juicy things that I know, give them everything I think they want. I'm going to have to definitely do more coaching. So I have to provide more access, provide more coaching to them. In order for them to get results and keep paying me over and over again, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to babysit them and help them do the work. I'm going to have to just get so many people in my program for this to happen. When we ask most people, what do you think you need to do, or what do you think needs to happen for your clients to have success and pay you again and again for years and years and years and years and years? Those are the things that people think they need to do or offer. Do any of those resonate with you guys? Do you feel like, okay, if I want my clients to be successful, and if I want to have good retention, so they pay me year after year after year after year, I'm going to have to provide a ton of coaching. I'm going to have to be super available. I'm going to have to create the most robust curriculum ever, or they'll leave. They're not going to stay if I don't keep pumping content out to them. I'm going to have to just give them one-on-one sessions and be super available. Do any of those resonate with you guys? Just give me a yes or no in the chat if you guys are feeling like, yeah, I kind of think some of those things. Yeah, Wendy said yes. Anybody else agree with that? That is super common. That's pretty much what most people say when we talk to them. So here's the thing. The real client results, you guys, and the real retention is going to happen before a client ever joins your program inside of your sales conversations. It's going to happen in your qualifying process. For those of you that don't have a qualifying process, that's probably one of your really big gaps, because you cannot bring people into your programs in 2024 and beyond and not have a qualifying process, especially for high-end, high-ticket, high-service, where you are providing coaching, services, access to you, your team, where you're taking people through a big transformation. You need to qualify. Remember yesterday we talked about, or maybe it was day 1 or day 2 a little bit, we talked about your onboarding process. Onboarding is what happens right after you enroll them, after you qualify them. Qualifying and onboarding, guys, those are non-negotiable right now in 2024. Okay, so your clients are going to have success in your program, and they're going to pay you over and over and over again based on what your sales conversation looks like. I want to give you a couple of examples of what I mean by this so you can understand, and I'll give you some details and answer questions, okay? I want you to understand this. If you're talking to somebody about your program, okay, and they have fear, I just want to give you an example. Or maybe you have this fear. Let's say that you're in a conversation with someone about your program, and they tell you that they are afraid, or they're scared, or they have some resistance around raising their prices, and so they undercharge because they're scared to increase their prices. Anybody here, is that you? Or have you been in a conversation with someone where they've told you they're really scared to do that? Or let's say you don't do business and somebody just says, I'm just scared to do this work. I'm scared to take these actions. I'm so afraid of blah, 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 blah. So let's say you're in a sales conversation about your program, and the person you're talking to tells you they are scared, afraid, resistant, or uncomfortable to doing something that you know they need to do to have success in your program. Apply that, however, to whatever your niche is. They're scared, afraid, resistant, or uncomfortable around doing something or changing something that is a big part of your program. Like they have to do it in order to have success in your program. Okay. So I'm going to use an example. We focus on high ticket. In my programs, I teach you guys how to sell and be confident in selling high ticket offers. Why? Because you don't need a lot. You can easily make 10K very fast and very easy with one high ticket offer versus I have an audience of 200. Let me try to sell a $27 offer and I want to make 10K a month. You need so many leads and clients to do that. You're going to work so hard to have to do that. It's not the fastest way to get there. I don't teach my clients fast, long, hard, complicated ways to make their monthly sales. It's always what's the fastest, easiest way to get your monthly number. That is always how we do it. So if I'm talking to someone about my programs and they tell me that they're scared to charge high ticket, they're afraid of premium prices, they don't think people can afford it, they are scared to raise the price, they don't think they're worthy, they don't think that people will pay it or that people have the money, they think their audience is broke, blah, 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 all this money drama. So they undercharge. They give, and they undercharge. What I would say in a sales conversation to this person, I would say to them, for our clients to be successful inside of our programs, they need to adopt the mindset that they are worthy of charging more and that that slashing your prices and discounting is a disservice. Raising your prices gets to feel really good and it's in support of the type of clients that you are trying to bring in your programs. Are you open and are you willing to be coached on reframing your beliefs around money, your self-worth, and receiving? Because to be successful in our programs, our clients have to have these values. That is the verbiage. That is exactly what we say to somebody who wants to come join our programs and is not and has money, has drama and excuses and fear around raising their price and charging more. We literally say that because if you come in my high ticket programs and you're combative and you are resistant and you're not coachable and you're not willing to do the mindset work to raise your price, your success in our program is going to be delayed. It's going to be harder. It's going to take longer. And it's going to be so heavy for me and my team to coach you. Do you know how hard we have to work to try to get our clients to where we need them to be to get the results of our program quickly and easily when they are fighting us every step of the way? How many of you understand what I'm saying right now? If you've ever worked with clients, you understand what I'm saying. It's a heavy coaching lift when you have to drag your clients through your program and you have to work so hard to get them to change their mind. Their success isn't going to happen in your program. And if it does, it's going to be hard. It's going to take a long time and it's going to be heavy coaching for you and your team. And they're going to be combative. That's not an exceptional experience. It makes for a bad experience. Do you think someone's going to renew in your program and pay you again and again if they're having a bad experience? No. Are they going to get the results in your program? It's unlikely. It's unlikely. If they're so uncomfortable, it's unlikely. Right? Here's another example I want to give you because this is everybody. This is everybody. The other thing that people will say in a sales conversation when you're talking about your program and working together, they will say, this sounds scary. It sounds uncomfortable, right? So they're scared, they're uncomfortable. Again, that resistance. And what we say, here's what I say. Growth is scary and uncomfortable. Transformation is not easy. Growth is scary and uncomfortable because transformation is not easy. To be successful in our programs and to reach your goals, you're going to need to be willing to be coached around these fears and take action even when it's scary and uncomfortable. Are you ready and willing to do that? Because that will be required for you to get the results. That's the verbiage we say in our sales conversations when somebody's like, oh, this is so scary. Oh my God. Like when we tell our clients what it's going to look like in our programs, they're scared and they feel uncomfortable and they get resistance and all the mindset creeps in. And do you know what most salespeople do? They don't address it. So then what happens? You get people in your program. Here's what happens, okay? Here's what happens when people come into your program and you did not address these things. Number one, heavy coaching. You and or your team are going to work phenomenally, incredibly hard to coach them because they're going to fight you every step of the way. They're combative, resistant. They don't want to do it. They go MIA. They don't want to like be coached. It's heavy coaching. You're going to get early drop-offs. So you're going to have people that, oh, I decided this is wrong for me and I want to leave early. I want to cancel my contract. It's just not for me. I changed my mind. Yeah, I'm not ready to do this. You know what? I'm just going to keep doing what I was doing before, blah, 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 blah. Early drop-offs. You get payment disputes. People want to cancel their payments. They want to pause their payments. They don't want to make their payments. You get no-shows. They stop showing up. They stop showing up for themselves, for their coaching, because they don't want to be coached, because they're resistant, because they're in their mindset, they're in their lack, they're in their limited thinking. And you get uncoachable clients that don't do the work and they stay stuck in the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. You get client coach dependency, where you get those clients that they do show up and they do receive the coaching, but they won't do anything without your stamp of approval, without your permission, without you looking at everything, without you telling them all the things, the ways, the hows. They have no self-trust, no inner guidance. They look for you to do it all. And you get refund requests. I want a refund. I want a refund, right? This is what happens. I see this in $7 million coaching companies that I'm working with some multi-million-dollar coaches right now who run these big group programs that are experiencing every single bit of that. And it is because in the sales process, you didn't address their objections, their fears, their uncomfortableness, their resistance. And you didn't set the frame that for them to be successful in your program, they're going to need to be coached on that. They are going to need to be willing to show up, ask for questions, raise their hand and tell you they need help and they're struggling and that they need you. They're going to need to be willing to do that even when it's uncomfortable, scary, and hard. And they need to be willing to do the work even when it's hard, uncomfortable, feels like it's not working, when they're scared. If they're not willing to do those things, they'll fail in your program. Your job is to address that head on in your sales conversations before you ever bring them into your program. So their limiting beliefs are fine. We all have them. We all have fears. We all have limited beliefs. We all have anything you do for the first time is scary. And there's nothing easy about business. That's the other issue, is a lot of people that are selling their programs make the person think it's going to be so easy. Oh, it'll be so easy. Just follow this. Do what we tell you. Just do ABC. You'll be fine. That's a crock of BS. There's nothing easy and comfortable inside growth, inside doing something new. I always tell my clients, you better be willing to work hard and you better be ready to work hard, or you're not going to have success in our programs. Because there's nothing easy, fast, quick about this. Nothing is comfortable about this. This is big work that you guys are doing. Obviously, it's scary. Obviously, it's uncertain and uncomfortable. And so you need to address this in the sales piece. Because if people come into your program and they don't have that, if you haven't set that frame, they're just going to come in and be willy-nilly and wishy-washy. And they're going to be like, hello, are you solving my problems today or what? Okay, forget it then. I changed my mind. I want my money back. I'm out. They're just going to be wishy-washy and willy-nilly in your program. That's not going to increase client success. And it is not helping your retention. You're going to see it tank, right? Does any of this, before we move on, does any of this resonate to you guys? Does it resonate and does it make sense? Are you guys kind of tracking what I'm saying? Does this make sense for you guys? Okay, we have people also on Facebook. Yeah. So if you guys are tuning in on Facebook, let me know if this makes sense. if you're kind of picking up what I'm putting down. Awesome. Okay, good. So we understand that your client success and your retention actually lies in the sales conversation before somebody even becomes a client. If you're not hosting those sales conversations in that way in 2024 and beyond, you need to start doing that now. So these are fixes. Like, everything is fixable. If you feel like the things that I said are happening in group programs, if you feel like that is happening in your programs, you got to fix it. You just have to fix it. And it's going to start with your sales conversations. That's where we're going to begin. Does that make sense? Everyone's good with that? We understand that it begins in your sales conversation, not after you bring a client unqualified into your program. If you're bringing people into your program who are unqualified, uncommitted, and uncoachable, and they're completely resistant, and they're not committed to showing up and asking for help and getting the help and then doing the work, how is that going to help your client success rates and your retention rates? So qualifying is non-negotiable, but it needs to be stellar. It needs to be exceptional. You need to be okay with losing a sale. Is everybody here okay with losing a sale? With losing a client? You okay with possibly losing a sale? Because you qualify people out? Because you have these qualifying conversations and someone's not a fit? I will tell you from 20 years of doing this, there's no unqualified client worth it to bring into your program, because on the back end, it's going to kill you. On the back end, it's not worth it. It isn't worth getting that sale on the front end. I don't care if they're willing to pay you in full or they're willing to pay you monthly. It doesn't matter. It isn't worth it on the back end. It's horrible. You've got to bring in qualified people, right? And the qualifying isn't just, do you have the problem that I solved and do you have the money to invest? That's lazy qualifying. That is lazy qualifying. Somebody having the problem that you solve and someone having the money to pay you doesn't make them qualified. That has nothing to do with how they behave in your program. That has nothing to do with their level of conviction, with their level of commitment, with their level of coachiness, their level of readiness. It has nothing to do with any of that. We've had people come in our programs before, pay us in full, and they're like, yes, I'm ready. And they're ready to pay us in full. And then they come in the program and we're literally giving them that money back and firing them 2 days later. Because it was like, whoa, you do not qualify to be here. I'm sorry. Right? Like, it would not be worth it. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Like, I'm telling you, like, you have to be in a place where you're like, if I have to lose a sale, it's okay. Right? Like, if I have to close a sale, I apologize for baby Ella in the background. If I have to close a sale or lose a sale, it's okay. Because you should be going for quality, not quantity. Right? I want you to focus on the clients that, everybody here, raise a hand or drop a 1 in the chat. We all want our clients to have success and get the result. Can we all agree to that? That's ethical sales. That is ethical. That's with integrity. We teach our clients ethical selling. Ethical selling is not just your language. It's not just the conversations. Ethical selling is you being in integrity when you're signing clients. When you bring people into your programs, it's your job to say yes or no that they qualify. Yes or no that they're ready. Yes or no that you think they have what it takes to win in your program. This isn't a judgment. This is ethical. This is integrity. You don't want to take anybody's money and then they come and you know they're not going to win in your program. You know they're going to fail. Why would you? We wouldn't want to do that. We don't do that. That's not ethical. That's not with integrity. Okay? So again, we have to qualify really good on the front, and you need to be okay with possibly losing some sales, possibly turning some clients away for now, because they might just not be ready right now. Okay? And I know that's challenging when you're trying to get sales up. I know that's challenging when you're trying to like validate that you can do this and validate like, okay, my efforts are working and like we need those sales. But at the end of the day, you are going to have to work really hard for that sale. And they're probably going to back out anyway. And you're going to end up refunding, and it's not going to be worth it anyway. Okay? And yeah, like Angela said, I'm amazed at how many people out there don't care. Most people don't. I will tell you right now, if you look around at most group programs, you see hundreds of people in those programs. Hundreds. And did you know that less than 2% are actually successful in getting the results in those programs? It's because they're just signing numbers. They're not qualifying. They're not making sure that people are set up to win, that people coming in are actually qualified. Anybody willing to pay, they're like, come on in. Okay. So yeah, most people don't care. And it's not ethical. It's not ethical. We're supposed to be creating, we're supposed to be creating win-wins for everybody. Everybody should win. Okay. All right. So now let's move into the second thing. Okay. Because there is going to be things inside of your program also. Now we know that when we're qualifying people on the front end, I want you guys to look at their conviction, their readiness, their characteristics, and their coachability. Write those down. I want you to look at their conviction. So conviction to the goals and doing the work to reach their goals, their readiness for everything, their readiness to just be open to the whole experience, their characteristics. What are their values? What are their morals? How do they show up? How do they lead in their lives? What's their mindset? Right? What's important to them? And what are they willing to do for all that? And then their coachability. Are they coachable in all the ways? So you want to be looking at all of that, and you need to address the things that come up. You got to address those head on. Okay, you have to, don't avoid those, or don't let those red flags slip by. Okay, now once they're in your program, obviously there's some important things. Okay, so I want you guys to write these down as I kind of spitfire through these. There are a few important things once you qualify and have them in your program. So you've qualified and you say, yes, this person's going to win in my program. I would love to wake up every day and coach you. And you take their money and you bring them in and welcome them into your program. Okay, now we talked about this the other day. The number one thing inside of the program, you need to have a strong onboarding process. If you didn't watch yesterday's session, I want you to go back later and watch it. We talked about what that looks like and how important that is. It's not optional. It's not negotiable. The onboarding process is actually going to set the frame. And in the first 30 to 90 days, your new client is going to decide if they want to actually continue to show up in the program, if they feel like they made a mistake or they're so happy they're here. First 30 to 90 days that they're going to decide that based on the onboarding process. Okay. So that is not negotiable. It can't be lazy. It can't be half-assed. It can't be minimal. It needs to be exceptional. Okay. So number one is going to be that onboarding process. The second that payment comes in, what happens? Okay. And it can't just be, well, they get a receipt and access to my program. That is not onboarding. That's not an onboarding process. Okay. The second thing is you have to personalize their experience. This is the reason a lot of people don't like coming into group programs, is because most group programs are run like crap. They're cookie cutter, they're hands off. It's just all about the numbers. And the thing is like, you have to understand, you have your process that you take your clients through to get the result, but you have to learn, this is what I said on day one. If you're going to run a group program, coaching skills are not enough. You also need facilitation skills. Your group program will never, ever scale if you only have coaching skills and you don't have any facilitation skills. Those are not the same thing. Coaching is one thing, but you have to know how to move a group of people through your process without it feeling cookie cutter and generic and hands off. That means if you have 100 people in your program, all 100 people need to feel like you understand their business and you're personalizing your curriculum for them. Does everybody here know how to do that? Does everyone here know how to exactly do that with exceptional skill? I'm in 8-figure companies who don't do this very well. The fact of the matter is, coaching skills by themselves is not enough. You have to know how to facilitate, and personalization is not going to be an option in 2024. People expect it. When they join a group program and they pay you high ticket, they expect a high level experience. And that means every single thing you teach, you need to find a way to make that work for them and apply to their business, or they're going to come back. And we've had clients do this before, come back and say, yeah, I love what you're doing and I love the program and I love what you're teaching. I love, 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 love all the things, but like, I don't feel like it works for me. I don't feel like it's working for me. And it happens to all of us, but you have to fix that. You have to fix that. Either you don't bring those types of people in or you personalize your program. And you say, okay, let's make it work for you. Okay, so that's facilitation. That's not coaching, that's facilitating. So number one is the onboard, and number two, you need to have personalization in your program. Clients need to feel that, or they're never going to stay in your group program. They won't even show up. Okay. The third thing is keeping your curriculum short, specific, and to the point. We talked a lot about that yesterday, right? We talked a lot about how many of you guys have multiple programs rolled into one. And here's why you do that. Here's why you do that. You overstuff your program to justify your low ticket price because you have receiving issues and you have self-worth issues. Because if you didn't have receiving and self-worth issues, you'd raise your price to match the value of what you're providing. Instead, you think the value is how much you give them. So that means you have a self-worth issue. That means you don't think your teaching is valuable enough. You have to give a lot of stuff. So you've attached, people pay me more money means I need to give more. You've attached, that's a receiving and self-worth issue, 100%. And until you change that, you know what you'll do? Give, undercharge. And forever you will feel like I give so much and I'm not paid enough. You will always feel that way until you reframe, redirect, and you heal whatever self-worth issues you're having that are causing you to feel like I need to compensate for my price. I need to give. And every time I raise my price, I got to give more. That is a self-worth and receiving issue. And you'll never stop hustling, grinding, and over-giving and undercharging until you fix that. Okay? So your curriculum, what's the 3 to 5 steps that you need to get there? Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Okay, and then coaching and challenging their limiting beliefs. Here's what I want you guys to understand. Growth cannot happen if we don't fail. Growth cannot happen if we don't experience fear and move through it anyway. How many times have you personally, and you don't have to answer this live, but just think about it. How many times have you personally not done something that you wanted to do because you were scared? Well, there's no growth in comfortable. There's no growth in same. There's no growth there. You're not growing if you're not scared. You're not even growing if you're not failing. You're not growing if you're not taking risk and doing something new. You're just staying the same. If you are like, you have to understand, like, as your clients go through your program, they're going to have limiting beliefs. They're going to have resistance. They're going to have fear. They're going to like get paralyzed and just be like, I can't move, I can't do anything. Like, they're going to do that. That's where your coaching skills come in. And you need to know how to guide. You need to first recognize it. You need to first recognize that your client is having this come up. And then your job is to coach and guide them through it. Their job is to feel safe enough to do that with you so that they're open to it. And that happens in that sales conversation. That's what we said, right? We said that earlier. Uncomfortable, scary? Of course it is. Success, transformation, and growth, you're not having any of those without that. Of course it is. Are you willing and ready to be coached and to take action even when you feel scared or whatever? Like, you're addressing it head on, because if they're not ready, they're not ready. If they say, oh, I don't think I could do it, then they're not fit for your program. Right? Okay. Milestones and program checkpoints so that clients can see their progress, celebrate it, and keep moving forward. Most of us humans, we don't even acknowledge the small wins. So a small win for you guys today could be that you showed up here. It could just be that you came, you showed up, right? For yourself, because you're here. It could be that you sent that email, right? Your small wins are the compounds of what creates a big win. You don't skip all the small wins and get to the big one. You actually have all these little small wins before you get to your big one. The small ones create the big one. When your clients join your program, they're going to have these little tiny wins all along the way. They're going to have these little pieces of progress all along the way. Your job is to acknowledge those, recognize and celebrate those with the clients so they see their progress, right? They can see it like, oh my gosh, right? Sydney, you joined 3 months ago. We wanted you to get to 300 leads by your 3-month mark. You're at 400. Go, good job. You did it. Or hey, you're at 250. That's 250 more than when you joined 2 months ago. Like, congratulations. Has she reached the big goal of the program yet? No. But has she reached a milestone? Has she made progress? Yes. If you, as the leader, the coach, the facilitator, you're not acknowledging and celebrating and showing them this, they're not going to notice this stuff, you guys. Most of the time, we just look at the big win. How many of you have ever said, yeah, I did this and this, but I didn't get this yet? Yeah, I got 20 people to register, but I didn't get the 100. Yeah, I got 2 sales, but I wanted 5. How many of you are always downgrading these little wins in progress that you're having? That doesn't manifest bigger wins. If you are constantly in a state of the lack of what you don't have and the thing that's missing, you're not going to get the thing. You're always going to be in a state of, oh, but this is missing, I didn't do that though. That's your mindset. So you need to help your clients kind of work through that themselves, so that they can see, oh wow, I made a lot of progress in this program. I didn't even realize that. Okay, so this could be through, you could have, milestone checking calls. You could send them voice notes, memos. You could shout them out in your community and celebrate them. Show them that they're having these wins and progress points. That is critical. That is critical inside of a group program. If your clients don't even feel like you're paying attention to what they're doing, they're going to check out. Everyone in your program should have a graduation or renewal conversation that is scheduled in advance. So you should know when your clients are coming up to graduation or renewal, and ahead of that time, there should be something scheduled where you are like, they know and you know, we're getting on to talk about your graduation and renewal. We expect it to be this date. Let's schedule it. Let's do it. Everyone's working toward it. Everyone's excited for it. You shouldn't be waiting until 5 days before a client's agreement is going to end to reach out to start a conversation about, hey, are you thinking about renewing? They're probably already made their next investment. You need to think ahead of your clients. Okay, that's part of your job. And then you want to create a personalized roadmap. Something we do in Sell at Scale, and we're going to start doing it in Sales Academy, is we create a visual roadmap. We have you fill out a form, we collect your data, we collect some numbers and information, and then we create a roadmap that's visual that shows you, here's where you're at, here's where you want to be, and this is what you're going to do in between. This is your expected graduation date, and these are some expected dates for your milestones here in the program, so that you can physically see. This is the path. This is my roadmap. And then we all work together to hold you to it, to hold you accountable. Every time you sign a client, you guys, you're signing a 50-50 contract. This is a partnership. That means you have 50% responsibility, they have 50% responsibility. And in our contracts, we list out what your 50% is and what our 50%. We make it very clear, right? We make it very clear who is responsible for what, okay? And then we put those in the agreements, and then we have your roadmap, and you can physically see your journey with us, okay? And you can see the expected dates of like different goals and milestones and checkpoints throughout the program, so you can just see your progress. It's really amazing. And that is something you should provide because it's personalization. People come in, and we talked about this yesterday, they float. They're just like, I don't know, I'm here. No idea if I'm being a good student. I don't know if I'm getting any help. I don't even know like if I'm doing the right things. I don't know if I'm on track. I don't know if I'm progressing. They're just floating in your program, right? If anything for you guys this year, if I could have you leave with anything, sales conversations, onboarding, and client personalization should be your top 3 things that you focus on this year. Complete 100% mastery. Complete exceptional. Like nothing else is even more important than that. Okay. All right. So those are going to be the most important things for you guys. Let's open up for questions because this is a lot. Angela said I need help with contracts, onboarding, personalization. Yeah, the most important thing inside of these programs, right? It's going to be onboarding. It's going to be it's your sales So Angela, to answer your question, it's sales conversation first. That is step number one before they ever join your program. That is most important. Then it's your onboarding and then personalization. Those are the three main things those are not everything. I'd be here all day if I tried to tell you the whole process of what you need to do in your program. It's those three are the most important. You can't be lazy with those and you can't half-ass those. They have to be 100% absolute exceptional. Okay. And that is going to take you time. Nobody's going to like leave here today and have that mastered. It's a constant improvement and evolution over the years. I've been running my programs for 15 years and we are, even today, we are making improvements to all kinds of things. So it's a process always, okay? But yes, you start today. Everybody starts today. You look at your sales conversations and where are you avoiding certain conversations, addressing certain things, going a little bit deeper on some things, really fully qualifying properly for the way that you need to in 2024. And then what is happening in that process in that first 30 to 90 days? The second someone gives you their money, what is happening there? And what does that look like? Are we setting them up for success and setting you up for years and years of retention with that one client? And then everything else after that is the personalization, your program delivery, your curriculum, your call structure, how you're creating community and culture, and there's a whole bunch of other things. You got to have a retention plan, an ascension model. You need to have all those things. Okay. So do we have some questions? Does anybody, I do want to do, if you guys want to drop them or just unmute and come on, I want to remind you, we do have some programs open right now. We have our Sell at Scale. If you're doing between, I would say between 5,000 and 8,000 per month, and you want to scale to $500,000, $1 million with a group coaching program, we literally are live helping you design and deliver every single bit of that. We're doing that together. Sell at Scale would be for you. If you are doing under, like 5,000, so maybe you're doing between 3,000 and 5,000 a month, Sales Academy would be good. We focus on your buyers list, a high ticket offer, sales up. That is it. 3 very simple things over there. But we work on your mindset, your messaging, all of those things, your leads, working your data, your buyers list. Obviously there's things under it that need to happen, but we do that there. If you are not doing even $3,000 a month, I would just come into our monthly membership. It's very simple, sell with conviction. You're going to get a lot of mindset work over there. That will help you get your sales up with what you're already doing. Okay, it's not a coaching program, but there is a monthly Q&A call, and there is a weekly audio thread in Telegram where you guys can post a question in the Facebook group, and I'll answer it in audio. So if you need accountability, coaching, hands-on, you need to come in one of the bigger programs if you qualify. Okay, let's open up for some questions if we have any. You guys can just unmute. Hi, Gemma.
Hiya, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. Great session, it was brilliant. I just have a question because one of the things that came up as you were talking, I was like, I can see how that how that will work for like my business and support, funnel building. Like I can see how it stacks, I can see all of those things. What I've always struggled with is how do I do that with a healing business though? Because it brings up questions about like ethics as well, because quite often after 10 sessions their anxiety's all gone, one or one-to-one. Like how do I convert that into a stackable group?
Yeah,
that kind of question came up for me.
I love that question. So we actually have a lot of healers, hypnotists, therapists, spiritual healers, all of that in our programs, actually right across the board. So this is super common. And one of the things that we find is that we feel like that work that we do is like very intimate and it's very one-on-one, and it's like, let's do the sessions and then you're good to go. Right. And so what we want to do is actually look at the real work. So every little bit of work that you do with your clients is going to arise other stuff and newer things and other things. Like when you complete your work, when you think you complete your work with them, there's still other things they want to accomplish. There's still other things they want to work on. And so what we do with our clients is we look at the full scope of like, what are you trying to do with them beyond these few sessions of this stuff you're doing with them here? What are some other things that they are struggling with, that they want to do, that they want to resolve, that they want to accomplish? And how can we create a bigger container? So the thing is like, the work you do isn't about sessions, it's about the space to have a transformation. So if we have to change takes time. If we gotta lose weight, takes time. Rome was not built in a day, and you can't even deliver a baby in under 9 months. How are you gonna have a massive life transformation in under that time? So when we think about a transformation, it's holding space for them to go through the whole process, the emotion, the fear, the resistance, the work, the other things that come up as they're doing that, and you're holding the space for all of that versus like, oh, just come in, we'll do a few healing sessions and then you should be good to go, right? Like, so it's thinking that process through.
Yeah, so that because I've run group sessions and group programs for them like in the past, and what I found was they got to a point where they came to me and they were in a complete mess. They like couldn't function. Then they get to a stage after three months where they're like, I'm good now, like, and I don't really want to stay in that space where I'm always trying to fix myself. So actually I'm good. And so
Okay.
the only other thought that I thought of was like, you know, running like retreats or this and that and the other to stack it, but I didn't know what, because
I mean, you could do that. But the other thing I'm thinking when you're saying like, okay, I'm good, thank you. There's a couple things that come up with that. Number one, your clients don't like, you're the expert at what you do, so you can see things that they can't see, right? So number one, we have people that might come in our program. Let's say you come in Sales Academy and you hit the 10K month goal that we have there for you, right? Okay, you've hit the 10K month. If our client comes to us and says, yay, I hit my 10K goal, thank you so much, goodbye. Well, not really, because yes, you hit the goal, but now you have all this other stuff. And also, do you want to keep hitting 10K months and not fall back into old patterns and old habits and old things? Let's help you sustain your 10K, and then we can scale your 10K. There's always more work to be done. So part of this is the mindset. It's the mindset of letting your clients know that our work doesn't end here. It isn't a one and done, it's fixed, it's over with, you're good for the rest of your life. We are creating a space where as things come up, new things come up, as you fall back into those challenging habits that are so normal and familiar to you, and you typically would fall back, you're going to have this space and container where we can keep you moving forward. We can help guide you out of that. So part of this is we have a job and a duty to make sure our clients understand what the time with us looks like. So if they think that it's like, yeah, we'll do these sessions, we'll heal these things, you'll get the thing and then you're good, then that's what they're going to do when they come in. We want them to come into an incubator, so a time with us, and then we help them understand and connect the dots of why stay in here for this time. So we have clients for business side who are like, well, do I really need a 12-month program to make 10K a month? Can I do that in 6 months? I'm like, you could do that in 30 days. You could do it in 30 days. But what we're doing in this year long is helping you with this stuff and sustaining it and making sure you can keep doing it and making sure you're doing it in a way that feels good for you. And we're helping you with the challenges that are going to come up. By the way, the challenges that will come up as we do this work together. So that it's a framing, right? That's a framing for them. So they expect to come in a little bit longer and incubate.
Yeah, I'm just looking back on all my clients I've had, and like the differences, like some people when they hear that like for healing, I just get completely different reactions. Some people just enjoy being in the space, and that's why they do it, because they're enjoying it. Or actually I quite like to work on this, and I have heard that too. And some people, as soon as they've heard, oh, am I not going to just get done in this certain time, they'd like freak out. So yeah, I hear you. For business, I just don't.
Qualifying.
Yeah.
That's part of the qualifying though, Gemma. That's like you saying, what type of clients do you want? Do you want the clients who just want a quick hit, a quick win, a one and done, and I'm moving on? They're going to go give their money to someone else. They're going to keep investing. So the question is, do you want them to keep investing with you? Or do you want them to go buy the next little shiny object thing, or the next quick hit, or the next real quick one-off session? What we want to do is, everyone is not going to qualify for big transformation. Everyone isn't going to be the right person to come into these types of containers, because you're right. You'll go in to have people with the mindset of like, oh, I'm just looking for the real quick. Like, I need to do this. And you know what I mean? Those are not people that are going to come into this space and have a complete full transformation with you. They're not going to come in and incubate in the work and in the longevity of their results. There are people who are like, I just want a quick hit. I just want the cheat sheet. What's the thing?
I didn't mean that, sorry. I meant like they because I do like 10 to 12. They've been in for 10 to 12 weeks and they generally are good enough to go. Like it's not they can't work on stuff, but they're like, I just wanted to get to a certain level, and now I actually that's all I wanted to do. I don't want to be in the healing for all the time, and I've got that so many times. Like I'm so good, and I've checked in on them 3 months, 6 months later, and they're like, no, I use all the techniques you gave me. It's so great. It changed my life. I'll never forget it. And they're actually good.
That's great.
And so like with healing, that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around, is like there'll be what you're saying is there'll be some people who want to keep doing deeper and deeper and deeper work. And there'll be
or just stabilize. Like some people just want to stay in the energy of you, the people in the space. They just want to keep kind of growing off what they've done and stabilizing. And then there's people that want to come in, just get it done and go. And so I think like you can have 2 programs, right? You could have a space where they come in, and if they want to continue on that journey and keep doing that work and keep taking new levels and learning from the community. I will say this about group coaching. If you don't create a culture and a community, you probably won't have people stay with you very long. People will stay for so many years for the people in the room. So I think also people love to be in that space, create friendships, and then keep elevating their growth, right? I mean, that's just, so I think you could have a program where they maybe do come in for like that short time, but from the sales conversation, you let them know, we'll do this work and we'll get to this point here. And then if you want to keep going on that journey and you want to stay connected to the community and your peers, and you want to keep growing and elevating your growth and your healing, we have this longer container where you can just kind of incubate and lean into the space, and we can keep going.
Love it. Yeah.
Right? You could just do that.
Yeah, that's really, really helpful.
Yeah. That's what we do with our clients that do some of this deep work. We have to really look at, and also I think too, when you're scaling, you're going to probably need more than one offer, because you're going to have people coming in at different levels where they might want to come in at a shorter time to get a taste of what it's like to work with you. And then they're all in for like, yes, let's keep going. This was fantastic. And then you are going to have people that kind of want to come in, get the thing, and then drop off. And so I think like having more than one offer, it's also something we teach in Sell at Scale. We don't teach that in our other programs, because we're not usually scaling in the other programs. But when we are trying to scale and we are bringing in these steady flow of clients and we want to keep some of them, we do have to look at more than one offer to do that.
Love it. Thank you.
Really good question, Gemma. Thank you for asking that. Do we have any other questions? Does anyone want to pop in with thoughts, questions? Yeah, Angela, I think if, the membership is a really good place to start. We should have the link live today for those of you that are interested in that, so you can get in there. It's a good place to start if you're like under 3K a month. If you're not doing 3K a month, there's a big chance that we have some sales gaps. If we could fix those and figure out what those are and get your sales more stabilized to like 5K a month, then you'd be more prepared to come into Sales Academy, where we can get you to 10K a month. And from there, you should be scaling, which would be Sell at Scale, right? So yeah, we can definitely do that. Does anyone want to pop in with any questions? Yvonne, Lisa, Frederick, anybody? Questions, thoughts, takeaways, anything I can answer for you guys? I don't know if I'm just looking on Facebook as well. I know we have people over there. Okay, did I miss any questions in the chat, Cindy? I know people are dropping stuff.
You covered it, but obviously Lisa says, no, I'm good. That was fantastic.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. Yeah.
I'm just looking up a little bit. Okay. Um,
Gemma's question, but she hopped on.
Perfect. And I mean, we're gonna get the notes to you guys, the replays,
Yes.
things like that too. And then if you guys have questions about our different offers, like just send me a DM. Send me a DM, we can talk about it. Awesome, Lisa. All right, Sydney, do you want to close this out, wrap us up?
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us this week. This was so good for taking some time out of your Friday. For those of you who are in the same time zone as us. Have an amazing weekend. Like Anne said, just send her a DM to chat through where your next best step is, no matter where you're at in your business journey. We have a place for you that makes sense financially where you're at. We very intentionally price the program so it makes sense for the stage that program is for, obviously, right? So reach out, don't discount yourself. We have something for you that makes sense. And then replays and session notes will be out by end of day today. So just keep an eye out on your email. Replays are available through next Friday. So get caught up before those are taken down. We're going to continue the conversation over in the Facebook group. So we'll have a thread in there to keep the energy going for you guys. But thank you again for being here. We cannot wait to see you guys inside either the membership, Sales Academy, or Sell at Scale. They're really fun, great places to be. So we will see you guys there. Thank you so much again. And until next time. All right, guys. Bye.